Hi, hello everyone. This is Efrat from Jerusalem. Thank you for being with us. Today, the 7th of October, here in Israel, is a Memorial Day for all the people who were killed in this massacre. 1,400 people, children, women, old men, in the terror attack, the worst Israel ever had. So there is nothing to say, but let us hold together 1 minute of silence in the memory of all the victims from both sides. עושה שלום במרומיו, וברחמיו יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם. He who make peace in his heavens high may also make peace among us and all humanity. Amen.
Hello, friends. Thank you also from me for being here, especially today. I think Helen is not here, so I will say a few words. There's no doubt that the 7th of October last year has changed the Middle East forever. A new power balance is happening. There is much more global focus on the Middle East now, especially also the BRICS countries take a stand, the global south, what you call, they take a stand in support for the Palestinian state. And of course, it is not clear that a Palestinian state is feasible at all, or how it can come about. But the pressure to move in this direction, to move this issue forward, is definitely on now. And the Arab states are trying to move into a new paradigm, moving away from religious ideologies and war into a focus on economic growth. With all the diplomacy that goes on behind the scenes, it seems that there is a process going on for them to try to prove that they can make this shift, that they can be partners in BRICS and holding together a vision of a Middle East in which, a Middle East that prospers and a Middle East in which Israel can find its place. Yeah, so let us today continue looking at the three different fields of consciousness: the Arab Muslim, the Palestinian, and the Jewish, in this very dynamic situation, and trying to hold the whole picture, accompanying this solar plexus dynamics, trying to move into a higher order, into a vision of a prosperous Middle East for the good of all inhabitants, and therefore for the good of the world. So let us settle into our body. And just breathing and touching base with the earth. Letting our heart come to rest. And focusing our awareness now in the center of the head. Standing as a conscious soul in incarnation, letting the soul energy flood the personality. Linking in with each other now, here on the call. And with our colleagues in all nations. Sense our hearts unite as one group heart. And let the light of our minds weave a telepathic field, a shared lighted clear space. And let us stand within it together as souls in the will to peace. Get a sense of our presence as this group, as a focal point for peace on this planet. And as such, let us attune with the higher co-workers who support us and who guide this work. Taking a moment to fill our group heart with the vibration of all-inclusive love. And taking now our stand at the midway point between the higher forces and the condition on the ground. And in focused silence, silent watcher, Let us turn our eyes to the Middle East now. Let us first get a sense of this mainly Arab Muslim world, field of consciousness. And now focus in on the Palestinians within it, in Gaza, the West Bank, also within the borders of Israel and in other countries in the Middle East. Take a moment to sense this Palestinian field of consciousness. And now let us focus in on the field of consciousness of the Jewish population within the Middle East. Let us take a moment to hold in our consciousness the interaction between these three different fields. And as we do so, let us release all judging, just observing the emotional and mental forces at play. And collecting now our focus back to the midway point between the Middle East and the higher realms. And within the aura of our higher co-workers, let us open our consciousness now. What's the divine plan? What's that part of the divine plan that relates to the Middle East? What is the intended design for this area in the world? being an instrument, bringing through that part of the divine plan for the Middle East that we can grasp. And bringing the received light inside into our shared space at the midway point. And let us now do our work as a conduit for these higher forces, higher energies of love and vision. See and sense a shaft of pure golden white light, broad and brilliant, flood West Asia. See a huge column of light pouring through all planes. Hold this column steady in the will to peace. See soul light flooding the mental sphere of the Middle East. And visualize the mental forces slowly aligning to an inclusive vision. Every human life is sacred. Only together, as guardians of the well-being of all, can peace be built. And see the soul light now pouring through into the emotional sphere of the Middle East, touching hearts, gently bringing into the awareness the realization that Jews, Palestinians, and Arabs are part of the same Semitic family, sharing the same DNA, as part of the one human family. And we take again a moment to accompany this growing realization with our will to love. Putting our will and our love behind it. And now let us see the light pouring through into the etheric physical plane of the Middle East, penetrating into the earth, helping in this ongoing disintegration of the old separative patterns as they work themselves out. Observe the transmuting process underway within the pillar of light on all planes, mental, emotional, and subconscious. And let us take one more moment to hold space for it within all three of these groups, Jewish, Palestinian, and Arab Muslim in the Middle East. Visualizing all these shifts going on in this consciousness all the time. And let us invoke the higher forces to help us, to help in this transmuting and releasing process. Let us reach out to the Lords of Liberation, and visualize them issuing forth, pouring their energy through the pillar of light and destroying the old hindering separative forms as they work themselves out, releasing, liberating. Let light and love and power and death fulfill the purpose of the coming one. The rule of evil now must end. And let us visualize this end. Visualize an end to the violence coming about through common agreements, a process of agreements within and between all nations and religions in West Asia. And in this process, let us visualize the solar plexus intensity slowly lifting, slowly moving, giving way to a heart opening. And as we sound now the great invocation in Hebrew and in Arabic, let us project this way forward towards peace and radiate it into the Middle East and into the world.
מנקודת האור אשר בדת אל, יזרום האור אל דעת האדם. ירד האור על פני האדמה. מנקודת האהבה אשר בלב האל, תזרום האהבה אל לבבות אנוש. ישוב מורה עולם על פני האדמה. מהמרכז שבו נודע רצון האל, תנחה תכלית את רצונות אדם. תכלית אותה מורי האנושות יודעים ומשרתים. המרכז אשר נקרא המין האנושי, תוגשם תוכנית האהבה והאור, ויחתם הפתח אל הרע. יהי רצון, ויחדשו אור אהבה ועוצמה, לתוכנית על פני האדמה. May all the hostages be back. אמן.
من نقطة النور في العقل الإلهي ليشاع النور في عقول الناس وليهبط النور إلى الأرض. من نقطة الحب في القلب الإلهي ليتسرب الحب في قلوب الناس وليرجع معلم الكون إلى الأرض. من المركز الذي تعرف منها إرادة الله لتقود الغاية إرادة الناس البسيطة، تلك الغاية التي يدركها المعلمون ويخدمونها. من المركز الذي ندعون بالجنس البشري لينتج تسمين الحب والنور ويختم على الباب الذي يقيم به الشر، ليجدد النور والحب والقوة التسمين على الأرض. الله أمين. أوه. أوه. أوه.